Hey BookTube, welcome back. I'm Winx and the ink I'm talking about today is another book haul. I haven't done a book haul video in a little while, but that does not mean I have not been buying the books. I have been buying the books. So I have about 15 to 20 books here to show you, and I don't even think that's all of them. In fact, I know that's not all of them because there are several Kindle impulse purchases that I bought, but I'm just going to go through the physical books that I have here, and that should be plenty for one video. And then maybe I'll do a follow-up video with some of the Kindle books that I purchased recently. So I have broken these up into a few different categories as I am wont to do. And yeah, let's dive into it. No one will be surprised here that several of these books have come from Powell's. I live in Portland. Powell's is in Portland, so I go to Powell's quite a bit. And the first few books that I got there are some Jo Walton books. I love Jo Walton, and there were a few of her books that I have actually read and I loved, but I did not own in physical copies, so I wanted to pick some of those up, and the first of which is Among Others. And this is actually, in fact, the first Jo Walton book I've ever read. I got it for, I think it was a book for Sword and Laser one month, and a few years ago, and so I picked it up. I actually listened to it on Audible, and I've always just wanted to have a physical copy of it because I loved it, and now I do. It follows the story of a girl. She's going to school, and I believe she was in a car accident, so she is disabled. I think her leg was injured in the car accident, and she has trouble socializing, and the whole story is in first person, which you guys know I love. It's kind of in a diary format, and basically she just lives through science fiction and fantasy, and she joins this book club. So all this stuff is happening, which obviously I can relate to and love, but also there's all of this magical realism and fairies and stuff going on, and yeah, I just thought it was a really interesting read. And if you want to get an audiobook, I really recommend this because the narrator is awesome. I love her voice and her accent. That was just amazing. The other Jo Walton book I decided to pick up is Philosopher's Stone. Philosopher's Stone, no, The Philosopher Kings. And this is the second book in the Thessaly series, which I've been reading and loving, and I actually was not planning on buying these in hardback. I originally had the first book in paperback, and I got it from Book Depository, and I've been thinking about buying Philosopher Kings in paperback for a while, and I just haven't done it. And the third book just came out, but obviously you have to wait like 6 months to a year before it comes out in paperback. So I finally decided just to get the whole set in hardback, and the main reason why is that I saw this one at Powell's, and drum roll, it's an autographed one. So yeah, Jo Walton was at Powell's one day and was autographing books, I guess, so they had some extras, and I bought one, and I was very excited. I ended up getting the other two of the series also in hardback, but I got these from Amazon, and yes, I'm very excited to have the whole series, and I love these books so much. On a separate trip to Powell's, I picked up a few more things here. The first of which is called Doppelganger, and this is by Marie Brennan. She writes the Memoirs of Lady Trent series, as well as the Onyx Court series, which was the book that I sent out for the Winter Book Bath box. That was the first book in that series. So yeah, she writes a lot of good stuff. And this is her debut novel, which I've never read and I had never heard of. So I thought that I would try it out, and it's got this really like hardcore looking lady with a sword. So, you know, can't go wrong there. Then I also got a fantasy book, which is called The Book of Jared by Stephen Brust. I'd never heard of this, but it was actually recommended to me by my girlfriend, and it's the first 3 adventures of Vlad Teltos. And yeah, there's several books, and they're all called The Book of something, and they're all set in the same universe from what I have seen. And it's got a dragon, so I'm already hooked. And yeah, it just sounds pretty interesting, so I'm pretty excited to try this one out. Then I also picked up 2 graphic novels on this trip, the first of which is called Black History in Its Own Words. And this one it's really nicely made. It's a hardback, and it just seems like it's going to be a very good one to have around. The style is very cool, and it's also got some important stuff in it. So yeah, I am very pleased to have this one on my shelf. The second graphic novel I picked up is called Love is Love, and this is an anthology, and the proceeds of this one go to benefit the survivors of the Orlando Pulse shooting from 2016. And yeah, I have not read this one yet. It just kind of seems like it's going to hit me in the feels, but it seemed like another important one to buy and to have on my shelf, so I'm excited to check into it at some point. Powell's is probably my most frequently visited bookstore in town, but there are a few others that exist that I go to, and one of them is called Another Read Through, and I went there a few weeks ago, probably close to a month ago actually, and they had a display that was set up, and it was, oh my gosh, what was it called? They had a really great display name. It was something about alternative facts. I can't remember. I took a picture of it and I'll put it up here somewhere because I just thought it was really great. But it was all sci-fi and fantasy books by female authors, and I obviously I'm all about that, so I decided to pick up something new and just give it a try. So I got this one. It's called The Charmed Sphere, and it's by Catherine Assaro. And I'd never heard of it before, but I thought that the cover was very cool looking, and it was only about $6 because it was used. And the basic story, as I remember, is that there are mages, and the main character, she's been the most powerful mage this whole time, but then someone comes along who's more powerful than her, and she's kind of out of the spotlight, but then, or she loses her powers in some way, but they have to team up together in order to save the world. And yeah, it sounded really interesting actually, so I am definitely excited to pick it up, and also I just really like the cover, so it's kind of a win. And the other physical bookstore that I went to is a fairly new one in Portland, and it is the Amazon Bookstore, a physical store of Amazon books. Yes, I went there a couple weeks ago, I think, and there were a few things that I just couldn't pass up. So the first of which is a Tolkien book, which I'd never heard of before, and it's The Story of Kullervo. And I read the inside flap when I was there, and it sounds super tragic, which I tend to pick up tragic books. I'm just drawn to these tragic storylines. For some reason, when something is set up in this really sad, scary way, but then they're able to get through it and just overcome all of these obstacles, that just makes it even more powerful for me. So I tend to read these books that have really hard storylines, but yeah, I just feel like it gets me in the feels, and I like books that hit me in the feels. So this one sounds like it might do just that, and I'm excited to try it out. And like I said, I'd never heard of it, so that's kind of exciting. And this next one is the set of 3 that I was calling one, and you guys will know why I could not pass this one up. It is the Hogwarts Library Collection. It's got the 3 reprinted stories that they used to sell these 3 books, and when Harry Potter was new, and you could buy them for $5. I remember I went to Sam's Club and I bought them, and I gave it to one of my friends who was really, really into Harry Potter, and it was his birthday, so I got it for him. And I was 12, 11, something like that, and I got it for him for $5, and I just have always kicked myself because I remember buying them, and I remember having them, and I should have got 2, so I had some for myself because they would be really cool to have now. But also this copy is way prettier, so I'm kind of okay with it. So it's got The Tales of Beetle the Bard, Quidditch Through the Ages, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and it's just really pretty. So yeah, you can see, very pretty. Okay, we're coming down to my last 2 piles here. So first are a few that I pre-ordered, and I'll start with this one, which is The Stars Are Legion by Cameron Hurley. I'm so excited to read this one. Everything that I hear about it is just amazing, and has been amazing since it came out, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet, but it's got to happen really, really soon because I'm freaking out about it. It's gonna be great, I can tell. Then I have another awesome new sci-fi book, and that is The Collapsing Empire by John Scalzi. I love Scalzi. He's one of my favorite sci-fi authors, and I was very excited to see that he had a new book coming out. So I've had this one pre-ordered for quite a while, and this one just came out not that long ago, last month, I believe. So I don't feel quite as bad that I haven't read it yet, but I still really want to read it really soon. Then another one, I don't have it in my hands, but I think it's coming out next week, and I've had it pre-ordered for a long time, and that is the next Memoirs of Lady Trent book by Marie Brennan. This one is called In the Sanctuary of Wings, and I'm almost positive it's coming out this week or next week. End of April, I know, so it's going to be showing up really soon, and I'm so excited. Then the final two books that I have here are both from the same author, who is Michael R. Miller, and I was very excited because I had reviewed the first book in his Dragon's Blade trilogy a while back. And it was actually the first time that an author had ever reached out and asked if I would like a copy of their book in exchange for a review. So it was very exciting. It was definitely a milestone for me, and I really enjoyed reading and reviewing it. And Michael contacted me earlier this year and asked if I would like to read the second book in the trilogy, which of course I would. So he sent me that one, and I love, love, love these covers. They're just, the artwork is really, really cool. And I specifically remember in the first review I made comments about the cover of the first book, and I had been sent a Kindle copy instead of a physical copy, and I was a little bit jelly of the people who had gotten the physical copy because the cover art is so gorgeous. And I hope I didn't make you feel, if you're watching this, Mr. Miller, I hope I did not make you feel guilty about that. Because I made a comment about it. But I also received in the mail a physical copy of the first one, so like my dreams have come true, and I have both copies of these beautiful, beautiful books, and I'm really, really looking forward to giving this one a read finally and being able to put up a review about it. And yeah, just look at that. So pretty, so cool. Yeah, I am pleased. So that is my giant haul of recent months, and hopefully you enjoyed watching this. Let me know down below if you guys have read any of these books, or if there are any in this giant pile that you think I really need to get on first thing, because there's so many. I'm having a hard time, and I haven't done a proper TBR in a while, and I need to do that. So hopefully I will be able to get myself organized here and get it together and post a May TBR, because that's going to be here really soon. I can't believe it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. I hope you're all having a fabulous week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!